Yes, good morning Abhijit. Good morning Chandrasekhar. Good morning Aditya. Good morning Rahul. Good morning Sid. Good morning Vaibhav. Okay, let's recap. We have considered post-Maurya, or it is also called as pre-Gupta period, which was from 185 BC to 319 AD. So there had been two kinds of successors for Mauryas. One is the native successors, and another is the foreign successors. Right. So in native successors, very first successor is the Sangha dynasty, which was established by Pushyamitra Sangha, who murdered the last ruler of Maurya. Then Pushyamitra was adherent and orthodox Hinduism. He was succeeded by his son Agnimitra, who was succeeded by Vasumitra, Vajramitra, right, Bhagavadra, and Devbhuti. So during this, revival of Brahminical influence had been happened. Then Bhagavad religion had become important during Sangha dynasty. As far as Sangha dynasty's art is concerned, the Bharut Stupa, right, which was the most famous monument built in this period. So the fine gateway railing surrounding the Sanchi Stupa was also constructed during this period. So other examples of the art we can consider as Vihar or Chaityas, right, and Stupa at Bhoj, that is at Pune, Amravati Stupa, and Nashik Chaitya. Right? So these are some of the examples you can consider. So that was about the Sangha dynasty. Later on, the Sangha dynasty was followed by Kanua dynasty, right, whose capital was at Patliputra, whereas Sangha dynasty's capital was at Vidisha, right. So in Kanua dynasty, there had been the last ruler of Sangha dynasty called Devabhuti, who was murdered by his minister called Vasudeva. And Vasudeva founded the Kanua dynasty, but which was ended in 28 BC. As far as Deccan and Central Asia is concerned, there had been the Satvahan dynasty, right, which was from 60 BC to 225 AD. So its capital was at Baitan, which is also called as Pratishthan. Right. So the most important of the native successors were the Satavahanas in Deccan and Central Asia. So there had been different rulers. So Simika was the founder of Satavahan dynasty. Then Satkarni first, who was the third ruler of Satavahan dynasty, raised its power and prestige by conquest. Right. Raised its power and prestige by conquest. So Hala, who was the 17th ruler of Satavahan dynasty, was the author of Satyasai and written in the Prakrit. Then Gautami Putra Satkarni, 23rd ruler, who revived the Satavahan power and defeated the Saka Kshatrap Nahapana. He was the greatest ruler of Satavahana dynasty. Then Yajan Sri Satkarni, who was the 27th ruler, was the dynasty's last great ruler. And then Pul Mavi III, who was the 30th ruler, was the last ruler of Satavahan dynasty. So Satavahana started the practice of donating land to Brahmanas and Buddhist monks, which eventually weakened their authority over the realm. So under the Satavahanas, many chaityas, viharas were cut out from rocks. The best examples are Nashik, Kanheri, and Karle. The chaityas and viharas at Nashik, Kanheri, and Karle are the examples. Their official language was Prakrit. They issued the coins made up of lead, copper, or bronze. There had been then Chetty, or you can also call it as Chedi dynasty of Kalinga. So after the death of Ashoka, a new dynasty rose in the Kalinga called Chetty. It is also called as Chedi dynasty. So the information about it derived solely from the Hathigumpa inscription of Kharvela. So Kharvela was the follower of Jainism, who was the third ruler of Chetty dynasty. He was a liberal patron of Jain monks. He constructed caves on the Udaigiri hills in Orissa. And then we have gone for the second successors of Mauryas. So in the second category, very first rulers you can consider, that is the Indo-Greeks. So in the 2nd century BC. So Indo-Greek, which was also known as Bactrian Greeks, were first foreign rulers during post-Maurya period. So the most famous ruler was Maninda, called Milinda, right? So he was converted to Buddhism by Naksen, which was also known as by Nagarjun. So Milinda had repaired the Sudarshan Lake to irrigate the dry region of Saurashtra. Right? Further, the Indo-Greek rule was important because large number of coins were issued in this period, and they have issued the first gold coins. So this is what you can always consider about the foreign successes, right? So that is what you can always consider. One more thing that okay, so they introduced Hellenic. So what is Hellenic? Hellenic is a Greek features in art, right? Greek features in the art. So as far as art is concerned, they introduced Hellenic. They introduced Hellenic, that is Greek features in art, right? Then next rulers which you can consider, called the Sakas. The Sakas. Right. So who had been from 1st century BC to 4th century AD. Right. The Sakas. They were also known as Scythians, and they replaced the Indo-Greeks in India. So among the 5 branches of Sakas with their seats of power in different parts of India, the most important was one which ruled in Western India till the 4th century AD. Right, so from 1st century BC to 4th century AD. Right, so among these, the most famous Saka ruler in India was Rudra Daman. Right, the most famous Saka ruler in India was the Rudra Daman. So he is famous not only for his military conquest, but also for his public works and his patronage of Sanskrit. So he issued the first ever long inscription in the Sanskrit. Right? Other important Saka rulers in India were Nahapana, Ushodeva, Ghamtika, and Chastatana. Right? And Chastana. So these were the other important rulers of this particular dynasty. We can consider the rulers, that is Saka rulers. So in about 58 BC, there had been a king of Ujjain, Vikramaditya. He's supposed to have fought effectively against the Sakas. So an era was called Vikram Samvat, right, which is reckoned from 58 BC. Right. So he was the only king which we can consider supposed to fought effectively against the Sakas. Right. So this is what you can always consider. Right. Then okay. So Sakas also known as Scythians, right? So they replaced the Indo-Greeks in India. Indo-Greeks in India. Right. So among the 5 branches, of Sakas in India, Western India, right? The branch at the most important branch was in Western India. Western India, right? So which ruled till 4th century AD. Till 4th century AD. Right. So the most famous ruler of Sakas, right? Most famous Saka ruler was Rudra Daman. So he was famous not only he was famous, right, for his military conquest, his military conquest, right. Then second one is his public works, his public works, and his patronage of Sanskrit. His patronage of Sanskrit and his patronage of Sanskrit. Fine. Some other important Saka ruler were Nahapana, Ushuvadeva, Ghamtika, and Chastana. Right, again, right, it is. Why? So, see, in about 58 BC, the king of Ujjain, right, whose name was Vikramaditya, right, Vikramaditya, who was supposed to have to fought effectively against the Sakas. Against the Sakas. And therefore, that an era called Vikram Samvat. Vikram Samvat. Yam. Vikram Samvat. Right, from 58 BC. So, Panchang मध्ये आपण ऐकतो ना शब्द, right? You can consider this related to that. If anybody wants, you can have. Okay, done. See, the Sakas in the northern side, particularly northwestern side, were replaced by the Parthians, right? So the next you can consider where the Parthians, the Parthians, right? So their time period you can consider somewhere in the 1st century BC to 1st century AD. Right. So Parthians originally were Iranian, right? They lived in Iran. They replaced Sakas in northwestern India, but they could control very small area than uh, the Sakas have control in that particular part. So the most famous Parthian king was Gondophares, Gondophares, in whose reign there had been Saint Thomas, who said to have who have come to India for the propagation of the Christianity. Right. So this is what you can consider about the Parthians. So as far as northwestern side of India is concerned, they have replaced the Sakas. Right. So originally, Parthians, they were also called as Pallavas. Pallavas originally lived in Iran. Lived in Iran. Right. They replaced Sakas in northwestern India. Northwestern India. Right. The most famous Parthian king was Gondophares. Gondophares, right? In his reign, Saint Thomas have come to India for the propagation of Christianity. For the propagation of Christianity. Then there had been the Kushanas. The Parthians were replaced by Kushans, right? So somewhere in 1st century AD, they could have ruled to 3rd century AD. So the Kushans were one of the 5 Yuchi clans of Central Asia. Right. Originally they are from Central Asia, belonging to Yuchi clan. They replaced the Parthians in northwestern India. They have expanded their power to the lower Indus basin and the upper of middle Gangetic basin. Right. They have expanded their powers to the lower Indus basin and the upper and Upper and Middle Gangetic Basin. The first Kushan dynasty was founded by Cadphises first, who was also called as Kuzul Cadphises. The second king was Cadphises II, who was known as Vema Cadphises, right, who had issued gold coins. According to Raptak inscription, Raptak is a village in Balgan province. In today, it is in Afghanistan. So, according to Raptak inscription, Kanishka was the son of Vema Cadphises. So, Kanishka extended the Kushan power over Upper India, and he had made a capital at Peshawar as well as in Mathura. Right. So his capitals were Peshawar and Mathura. So among the Kushans, most famous ruler was Kanishka, who was also known as Second Ashoka, right, who started what we can consider, who is now known as Saka era, right? So, and is issued by Government of India. So, whatever we can consider the Saka era and the Samvat era, right? So, or Vikram Samvat. So, these are related in these time periods. So, Kanishka was a great patron of Mahayana Buddhism. That is the reason why he is called Second Ashoka. That's in his reign, fourth Buddhist council, which had been held, right, in Kundalwan, that is in Kashmir, which we have already considered at the time of seeing Buddhism, where the doctrines of the Mahayana form of Buddhism were finalized. Right. So the last great Kushan ruler was Vasudeva first. Then in the Kushans, so the Kushans controlled famous Silk Route, which was starting from China and passing through their empire onto Iran as well as in the Western Asia. So this route was the source of great income to the Kushans, and therefore it was called the Silk Route, right, which was starting from China going to the Iran, right, passing through the empire of Kushans, and by which Kushans were getting a great income. So Kushans were the first rulers in India to issue the gold coins on a wide scale, though earlier we have considered there have been gold coin issued by the Indo-Greek, right? That is by during the Milind. But these were the first, those who have those who have issued gold coins on a wide scale. Right. So in the royal